Don't you just love it when prices drop down constantly? And in this case, well, in this fish tank case, we have that scenario. But this case also comes equipped with three fans, which are V12R on the side, two of those, and one at the back, 120 millimeter. And basically, you can pack up quite loads of fans inside because at the top, as you can see, we have three 120. Basically, you can go with a 360 radiator, and you can go with three 120 reversed, of course, because of the visual aspect here at the power supply shroud. Now, honestly, it kind of goes into that segment. Are you more aiming for an airflow, or you're aiming for a nice subtle design when we're talking about the cable running towards the GPU? Guys, this is Okinos AQUA 6 Infinity, which basically the name says it all, with the fans here that are pre-installed. And I really wanted to skip the power supply shroud fans because of the cable, because they have the RGB cables, which aren't actually cables per se, right? You actually connect their extenders that go directly to 24 pin, and well, they have two 8-pin for the PCI Express, but I use some other 12 volt 2x6 cable and attached these to it. Now, they don't have any special controller, they don't have any special lighting. You simply connect them with 5 volts 3-pin addressable RGB to your motherboard, and you get the possibility to control the RGB lights, which is great actually when you think about it. You don't need to have additional SATA, Molex or whatever to plug in and control the controller. Instead, it's run by your motherboard software, and you have effects over there, so you can do that as well. But in general, when we're talking about the Aqua 6 Infinity, we're having quite outstanding price. $67.99, coming with three fans, loads of possibilities. The only downside, I would say, and I'm gonna say it's almost up in front, the only downside of this case is that you have a centimeter and a half, I think I would say, at the back for cable clearance, and that is the only thing that you could do with that space to manage the cables at the back. I mean, it's okay, you could do it. I managed to plug in, I don't know how many addressable RGB products I have here, but in general you can do it, and you can organize literally everything at the back. It'll be just a bit tighter, and closing up the back panel will be a bit of a challenge, not drastical. But when we take into consideration this chassis, it looks nice. You have the power button here on front bottom side, and then on the side panel you have two USB 3.0, USB Type-C, 3.5mm full power jack, and the reset button. On the front right side, somewhere beneath the tempered glass, you have a wooden logo of Okinos. So this time you don't have loads of wood accents on the chassis, just a slight touch, which is, I would say, just okay. The good thing about this case, let's go with the positives, we have the front tempered glass, which is removable on pegs, the side tempered glass, which is also removable on pegs. The back side panel has two thumb screws, and you have loads of dust filters. Bottom, covering the intake for these fans and for the power supply. The top one, which is magnetic, and it has a nice Okinos tag here at the top, and of course on the side. Now, discussing the fans and radiator support, you already know everything about the fans. But the radiator support, you can go with 240 on the side, 120 at the back, and the 360 at the top, which is outstanding, giving you loads of possibilities. So apart from everything that I mentioned so far, it has a panoramic 270 degree visual aspect when we're talking about tempered glass, with a floating stand. So it has that visual aspect of a floating case at the bottom. So that's really cool. Multi-directional airflow, and by that I mean side and bottom intake, top and rear exhaust. Then we go with the 360 radiator support, tool-free panels, except for the rear panel, which has two thumb screws, which weren't tightened that hard, so you could actually use your fingers. You don't need a screwdriver. And for the power supply shroud, it's a one-piece design. So the shroud and the bottom mesh are built as a single metal plate or panel, let's put it this way. The RAM clearance can go up to 52 millimeters in terms of the height when you're placing a 360 radiator, so take that into consideration as well. Altogether, we can go with 9 fans. Apart from the 120mm fans on top, you can go with two 140. In the power supply shroud, you have the option to go with the power supply up to 270 millimeters, which if you extend it more, you will definitely bump into the hard drive cage, which can support two 3.5-inch hard drives, or one 3.5-inch hard drive and one 2.5-inch SSD. GPU maximum length is 435 millimeters, and the distance from the fans on the side towards the GPU is 3 centimeters. But if you go, for instance, with the side radiator, do take that into consideration, the maximum length of the GPU is 280 millimeters. At the back, we have 7 expansion slots, and when we're talking about the cooler height, maximum it can go is 175, which is actually amazing for this type of smaller chassis. So you can place really high coolers in that sense, and you can really place long GPUs. So all in all, it was really straightforward to build inside. The only thing that I was actually taking a bit more time was connecting all the addressable RGB products and trying to manage these addressable RGB cables just to make it look nicer. I mean, it is nice indeed, and you can really organize everything up. Now it's time for the benchmarks, and I think this is a quite good comparison in sense when you see the visual aspect, the fans that are already pre-acquired inside the chassis, and finally the price. So the benchmarks say something like this. AIDA 64 Extreme Edition CPU goes up to 87 degrees, clock speed is 4800 megahertz. GPU doesn't pass 60, so it's 59 degrees. And that is honestly outstanding, specifically with this GPU. I mean, this GPU can go up to 64, so taking into consideration that you don't have any intake fans at the bottom and only intake is coming from the side, that is brilliant. Cinebench R23 with 10 runs, average thermals are 77.8 degrees, clock speed is 4995, which is really high, I do have to admit. And then we have the Cinebench score, which is 26,484. And all in all, when you take into consideration that this case with this AIO, this is Valkyrie V360 Lite, cooling down the AMD Ryzen 9 7900X3D, we have a quite solid average performance. A bit above average, but in Cinebench it showed quite nice Cinebench score, and it did perform really well. And taking into consideration the price, which is $67.99, and you only need a 360 radiator at the top, which would be enough. But then again, you can add additional fans here on the power supply shroud. Quite appealing visual aspect when we're talking about visibility, because you have front and side tempered glass, which brings to the point that this case is quite a catch in that sense. So if you're really on a budget and you really want to have something that you'll be able to place huge components, let's be honest, you could go even with a longer card, 360 radiator, or higher coolers, you can do that. So guys, satisfied with this one. PC Crazy approved badge just because of the price tag, because yeah, that's really nice, and I think you'll love it. Subtle, you have all the connections here for the I/O ports, a bit different approach on the power supply, on the power button, and loads of dust filters, bottom, side, top, everything is covered. That's it, guys. That's all that I can say for today. The links are in the description, as I mentioned earlier. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, click the notification bell, and I'll see you quite soon in another one. Thanks for sticking by. Bye-bye.